forever. So my question for you guys is, did you enjoy that article? Like the article, all the articles I've written to now were strictly deck articles. They were just deck techs. And I wanted to write another article. And the reason there was such a delay between the two articles, or the last article and that one, is I didn't have a deck that I thought was really cool. And what I don't want to be is the guy that brings you guys decks and says, like, I got this deck, but really it's not that good of a deck. Like, when I write an article, I want to be happy with it and proud of it and think to myself, there we go, that's something that's useful. People will get something out of this deck. And I just don't have anything right now that I think is amazing. I have a lot of decks I'm working with that are fun, that are good, but nothing that I feel like is like a meta-defining deck. I'll probably write something up about the Deathweaver Lotus situation, but even that, it's not something that I'm really excited about. So I was just curious what you guys thought. If you thought that article was like on par with my other articles, I think I'll say. I think that's the best way to say it. Is it on par with what you're used to seeing from a Tiny Grimes article? Or did you come away thinking, you know, I'd have rather seen a deck article. I don't really care what you think about the metagame. This is a crazy game. I hate when turn 1 Ebon Skull Knights completely dictate the game. That card can be so annoying. Like, if they get it in the middle of the phase, you're like, I can kind of ignore it. When they get it early, you can't just let it do 100 damage and win. You have to actually handle it. So here I am, attempting to handle the monster that is Ebon Skull Knight, and I think I just got to throw away a Gargoyle, as much as I hate to do it. And in this matchup, I'm just going to play Gargoyles all day, all night. I hope he doesn't have that lone crush hanging around. Okay, cool. Echo, I would say you are probably the main target, right? So, like, the top level player, so, like, say a Turkus or myself, all articles are not that helpful, right? It's like, if you don't know this information, how the heck are you one of the top players in the game? So really, it's for people like you, Echo, that are thinking, like, I want to be in the competitive metagame. How exactly do I build a deck like that? So I'm glad you liked it. You wrote plenty of room for creativity for top decks. I do. I mean, I know it's going to sound crazy, but, like, I give credit where credit is due. And I tried to make an Aegis Knight deck. It didn't work very well. And I ended up having to just scrap it because I couldn't get it together fast enough. But if you notice, Turkus was able to do that. And so I basically call this the Turkus deck. Like, it's just an AU deck, right? It's not different from mine in very many cards in one of the many 27 incarnations I was playing. But he was creative to be able to use the Aegis Knight in such a way in which to, you know, really exploit him. So the difference is, I think, in how you use the word creativity. Do I think you can be creative at the top level metagame and just pick a random card in the pool that is awful and build an amazing deck about it that's tier 1? No, obviously not. But I have a different definition of creative than you might. My definition of creative is you have a set metagame and you're able to be creative in those bottom 10 cards that you're using, right? So, like, you're able to do interesting creative tweaks to the metagame that weren't there before. That, to me, is where there's a lot of room to be creative. And so, I think it just kind of depends on how you want to define creative. I don't like any of these plays. I hate taking 7 damage to the face when I'm getting crushed. But I'm going to do that, I guess. I could actually jetpack him over and kill him, but, man, I'm so low. So low that I'm a little bit tempted. It's funny because I've leveled all the right cards and taken just piles and piles of damage to make sure I leveled all the right cards. Problem is it going to be enough because I'm just so far behind right now. Man, I think I just keep leveling the right cards. Yeah, I linked the article already, but I can link it again. Oh, that's the YouTube video. Let's see. Article. Oh, that didn't do it either. Having troubles here. There we go. Oh, man, it took me so long and so many problems that someone beat me to it. That's okay. I need to figure out exactly what's been played to make this decision, because this is a hard one. Oh, God, that's right. I got trapped into a Justicar early. So he's played an Ebon Skull Knight, Korok, a Static Shock, a Cull, another Ebon Skull Knight, Spite Mage. He's leveled really bad cards, actually. Like, I should, if I can hold on to this game, I should have a pretty big advantage, actually, moving forward. So I think the way to do it is to go here, not take the damage. I realize more guys are dying this way, but I'm leveling good cards. Hopefully this will give me an advantage. He's probably just going to move out of the way and not want to die to Phoenix, which puts me in an interesting spot of being able to draw a lot of cards that will just blow out the Phoenix. A Sentinel will blow it out. Yep, I thought he would do that. And in fact, he's in... okay. I was just about to say he's in pretty big trouble until he did that. Now he is not in pretty big trouble. Alright, I'm still going to do this. I wonder if it would have been better to play Weirwood there. I'm not really sure on that one. I don't think you level Gargoyle against Yetis. I think that's a bad decision. Sentinel 1, Patriarch and 3. Yeah. The reason I didn't do it like that is he would have just eaten... I mean, Sentinel 1, Patriarch 3. Yeah, I wanted to keep a guy in front of the Phoenix. I mean, he is going to get to move out of the way, but that's okay. I mean, either way, one of them is going to die. Well, actually, do that. Yeah, either way, I would have one of them dead, and I wanted the Sentinel to be in the middle alive. Yeah, I would agree with what Turkey said there, that you can win with Gargoyle, but you're not prioritizing Gargoyle. Like, I've played Gargoyle in tough spots. There's been games where I've been forced to open with him. If you can do cute stuff like Gargoyle into Jetpack, I mean, you can do some pretty crazy things. You leveled a new Wada against the Yeti deck? Oh my. I mean, there's also a difference, Rivera, between quality of player you're playing against, right? So, like, if you're playing in the random queue against some random person, you can get away with a lot more stuff than if you're playing, you know, in a tournament against top level player. And that's, you know, that's one of the things I often think about when we're having these sort of metagame discussions is, who are you playing against, right? When are you making this evaluation? Does one time I got this to happen? Yes, yeah. The one time anything can happen, but is it the norm or not? Let's see. So if I take, I'm only going to take 2. And I just feel like I can't take much more damage, especially since he has guys with aggression and he has flame lances. They're already kind of a dangerous spot. If I get too much lower intentionally, it's going to put myself in a bad spot when I need to be able to make risky plays. If I can stop any more damage, then I have room to make like one more risky play. Whereas if I take damage here against that Korok, it really restricts my future plays. I'm going to just have to prevent damage always. Yeah, I totally agree, Turkus. I used to think Constructed Queue was really good for testing, and more I don't put much stock in what's going on in the Constructed Queue. I mean, I know I don't play in it really unless I'm playing like a weird deck that I'm testing. And it just feels like, so I don't know if this is true, but I'll just say for myself what the deal is. For me, the fact that you can't get usable prizes out of the constructed queue makes the constructed queue not that interesting for myself. For me, I was going in it all the time when I was getting prizes that helped my collection grow quickly. Since you can't get targeted prizes and you just get random cards in a huge card pool, it's not that useful to me. Alright, so do I Warmonger mod here? Or do I play Matrix Warden? It'd be 12 versus 18. I think I'm going to Matrix Warden because he's got Spite Mages. So yeah, the Flame Lance won't kill him with the armor, but Spite Mage would. I don't really want to deal with that. You'd have gone for Roar, though, just to kill the Korok. Yeah, I mean, that was certainly on my mind, making a bigger Gargoyle. I'm trying to remember what I did. I think I played another guy. I wanted more guys on the board, especially since he has a situation where he can play aggressive guys to the board and really do some stuff. I kind of felt like I need to start clogging the board more than just making like one big dude. I'm actually really afraid he's just going to throw something down and beat me. I don't want to put him in front of the Phoenix, even with only having to take 2. I want to actually push some damage here, so I think what I'll do, play just a car who could actually get removed by McCall too, but I'm going to do it anyway. That's an interesting question. I feel like Orion Battle Droid is bad. Its armor is not high enough. A lot of stuff can just kill it outright. Whereas a blockade, it can just hang around a long time and absorb while you sort of build it slowly. Also, what's his name? Battle Droid can't be hit by Patriarch, so you can't build it off a Patriarch. I think the point is Battle Droid stays at 1 health much longer than a Vault Blockade does. I don't know what the best way to build a collection is right now, Bruce. That really is the tough part of the game right now. If you want to build a collection, certainly Constructed Queue is the best way to me. But that's sort of a taste thing. If you're really good at draft is the best way by far. I much prefer Constructed Queue. But the problem is if you already have all of set 1, then it becomes much trickier how you go about doing it. And I think you probably still do it the same way, but just takes a longer amount of time. Alright, so I think I just use a Basher to kill Korok and then Gargoyle the other one. I mean, this is why I have a huge advantage now. He has kind of bad cards in his deck. I have Gargoyle 3s and stuff. But he also has me in a scary spot where he's racing me essentially by being able to put out aggressive guys, and I have Gargoyles who are going to have a hard time pushing through that damage super fast to win. Now at this point I should be able to win if you can't win right here, because there's 2 lanes open. I have lethal. I should be fine. You get far more cards. Yeah. It really also depends on how many tickets you have. If you have a billion tickets, draft is probably better. Because you can, there's a chance you'll draft the cards you want. You go 2 and 2, you lose 3 tickets, you don't care. Now for me, like let's say when I'm on a free-to-play account, I always do Constructed. Because I figure I can go 2-2 with a bad Yeti deck, lose 1 ticket, and still be okay. Alright, so he loses, but he, like I said, he had all those aggressive guys, and so he was able to kind of make it a game there at the end. So had I taken that extra damage from Korok on that one turn, that might have given him a window in which he could have won. And so that, I think my reasoning worked pretty well there, and that I had to stop taking damage so I could have enough time to turn it around before he could push through.